welcome to the I Hate Social Media podcast, the podcast where we dive deep into the chaotic world of social media marketing with a twist of irony and a dash of humor. So whether you love or hate social media, join us on this journey as we uncover the secrets to making it work for you. I'm actually really excited about this episode because I told you that along the way we were probably going to screw things up and not really like make disasters of things, but like just not quite get it right. And this is my son, Noah, and he was actually supposed to be episode 4, but things don't work out the way you intend. And sometimes you got to call an audible with your schedule and just kind of figure things out. But that's business. That's how things are. So
gotta be quick.
Gotta be quick.
Gotta be quick. Speed.
How you feeling?
Good.
Good.
Very good.
Oh man. So this is okay. So it's surreal. It's surreal actually thinking of having my own son, my firstborn, as like a guest on my podcast.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I did something worthwhile enough to be on here.
I've accomplished everything I set out to accomplish in life because you're here. No, there's 3 more, so I better do a little better. But yeah, no, man, this is cool. This is also it's surreal, but man, it's I'm glad. I'm excited to have you on. And
thank you.
Yeah, this is okay. So now let's do this. I think this is really good, and part of the value for me, like that, I feel like we offer on the show is giving business owners an opportunity to plug what they do. So tell us what you do, what you're about.
So I am an online men's transformation coach. I coach men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, help them lose weight, put on muscle, and I take them wherever they want to go, basically. I do it all online because I believe online is way better than in person. The cost of in person, the overhead, is not worthwhile as a business owner, on top of the fact that I can give you more service being online. I can give you more of my attention and more actual coaching rather than just being there and watching you do something for a day 4 times per month.
That's good. Man, that was a good summary. I need to be able to summarize my business like that.
It's just your elevator pitch, I guess. I don't know. That's just what I say at networking events. Like, yeah,
that's good. Well, so that's proof you've practiced and you've said it a few times.
You've been around.
It comes off well.
Good.
It does.
All right.
So yeah. So I just want to know: are you jealous that you don't have the headphones? Do you feel like?
I was thinking that maybe if I had the headphones, it would be better so I can hear myself. But am I jealous? No.
Do I look like an idiot? I feel like
no. You look like a professional. That's how you're supposed to.
I am a professional.
You have to exactly. You're supposed to have the headphones. Make sure everything's right.
Yeah. No, that's right. So I was telling Noah beforehand. We just moved ahead and things are kind of coming together as we go. This is a sidebar. I have another. This is an SM7B microphone. You see these on all the podcasts. They're worth it. I think. I mean, if you're going to invest, you don't have to have them. I'm not saying like they're the only, but man, they're so very good. So I have another one of these coming. I actually want to get rid of this and that. The whole arm thing is just driving me crazy. But what I'll have is the actual arms from a company called Gator. The one we're going to use is called Gator Frameworks, and I picked it up just watching the Room for Nuance podcast. That's what Sean DeMars uses, and I'm like, I'm going to use that one. So anyway, sidebar over. Now, what made you decide to use social media early? I mean, honestly, it's probably like one of your main means of developing leads. Why that?
The reason I decided on social media, it stemmed from when I was younger. You know, you think about what you want to do. You think about the benefits of every position and every job. And then you get to thinking that working online allows you the freedom to be wherever you want. And also just being an entrepreneur. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. So working online gave me the freedom to be where I wanted, do what I wanted, when I wanted, how I wanted. And social media was the biggest outlet for that. There's tons of markets you could have tapped into, and it just became a thing of location freedom. And I mean, when you're broke, online's really the only option you have.
That's good. I like that. So, I mean, honestly, then online and social media really comes down to accessibility.
Yes.
Low cost of startup or whatever. Yes. Low cost of entry, I think is what you'd say. Have you found that there is a specific platform that has been the most valuable for your business, and what is it and why?
Well, I use 2 primarily. I use LinkedIn and Instagram. Instagram Sorry, what remind me of the second?
No,
half of that
just
question.
those are the two most effective. Well, I mean, those are the ones you use because they're probably more effective. But the real question is why those? And yeah, speak to that.
Well, Instagram allows you to have a personal brand better than a lot of other ones. Now, you can do YouTube, but I was never big into the YouTube thing. Just never really struck me as something as I'd like to do.
Interesting. Do you think that's true of more Z-lennials? You're Gen Z. Is it just Z-lennials?
No, I think more people want to do YouTube actually than Instagram. But the thing is that with my work, Instagram is the most common.
Okay.
Instagram is the most common, certainly. So I just picked up that one because that's what other people did. And then I have a mentor of sorts who recommended doing LinkedIn, and I have been doing work on LinkedIn as well.
I would think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I might be most of the time. YouTube would lend itself to somebody who's more of a performer. Somebody who's like, I want to show you how to do these things and that, right? More of like the tutorial guy. And not that you don't do that, because you do.
I do, yeah.
But you are approaching it, I feel like, more from a business.
Yes.
So it's like, look, this is the business side. When you're working with me, then I'll show you all my stuff, kind of a thing.
Yeah. So YouTube's much more personal, and it's important to have a personal brand, but also to remain a professional. And Instagram is kind of the perfect mix between that. You can have a personal brand, people can see you, and especially on stories, you can showcase kind of more you. And in the daily life, people get to know you, people get to like you. But from the outset, you see the Instagram page, and it's kind of like a new website of sorts. People can scroll through, see what you're about.
That's true. In fact, one of my favorite things is looking through Instagram and stuff is actually how people can curate their reels and all that stuff and actually form like images. And some cool, fun stuff.
Those are cool, yeah.
So now what about LinkedIn? What have you found on that? What's the value there? And I think I already know some of the answer, but yeah, speak to that.
The value of LinkedIn is just that there's more affluent individuals on LinkedIn. On Instagram, you're going to get a lot of just people that you can't sell to. You just can't sell to. They're not business professionals. They don't have money. A lot of younger people on Instagram. Now it is a wide age demographic, but LinkedIn seems to have the best. And I've heard that a large percentage of users on LinkedIn make over 6 figures per year.
That's probably true. I mean, LinkedIn is either is or it is very swiftly becoming kind of the place where professionals go to meet other professionals and to network in a social way.
Yes.
I think I know for a fact we definitely underutilize LinkedIn. So for us, I appreciate that. That is a strategy we will be implementing just over the weeks and months ahead, which is kind of just to dovetail into future things. I've talked about in my episode 1, kind of explaining what we're going to do here. As we talk to different guests and start to implement things, we're going to pull back the curtain and let you see the gears running and grinding and breaking and getting repaired and getting back up and running again. So, because we don't really utilize LinkedIn at all. In fact, it's so bad that I just had I had to redo my entire LinkedIn account because it had been like totally hijacked by somebody. I was apparently a woman. And I forget what I did. I was like medical sales, like medical equipment sales. So
strange.
I had to like redo everything, change my password. It was so weird.
LinkedIn can be weird sometimes. I don't know.
And there's a lot of creepers out there, apparently, if you're on there. So gotta be careful. All right. So okay, here we go. How do you balance? And this is a big one to me. How do you balance creating content and managing your training sessions and other responsibilities with your business? Because you can't, at some point, you got to do the work and make money.
Yes.
So how do you balance that?
When you look at it from a professional view, you see, on one hand, just fulfillment. And then you also see, the money-making aspect. As you said, you can outsource anything. Literally anything you can outsource. In large part, you have to find a way to free time, but to free time is going to cost you money. I don't know if there would be a second way to that other than money. So that's basically the only thing you can really do is, unless you just sleep less or work more, that works too. create time, then that's all you can really do is outsource some of your work to someone else, or have someone else do your marketing, or have someone else even do your profession. Just hire someone else to do that work. And then you can focus on the business and not be in the business.
I like that. I like that. I like the way you phrased it, and I think that's true. And that's why we come up with phrases like "time is money." It literally is, because what is the great exchange in all of in the entire marketplace? It is an exchange of time for money. Mm-hmm. This is kind of a downer, but you're trading your life for money. And so what you want to do is you have two choices. You can either spend your time to make the money, or you can leverage money to open up. Maybe that's a better way to say it, but to make time. And so, yeah, you got to be about that. You got to figure, that's what every business is trying to do, but the better you can be at that, the more time you're going to have on to be able to do the things you care about, whether it's like you're saying, working on your business, not in it. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
I'm not. Okay. All right. So walk me through kind of your social media process, like your actual marketing process. What does that look like for you?
Well, first you have to find out what your ideal client is and who you want to sell to.
100%.
I made the massive mistake in the beginning of my business trying to sell to people my age. People my age have no money. None at all. And to try to sell to them is extremely difficult because they're just not making enough. So I decided to change that pretty late into it, but it was definitely a worthwhile change. So first you have to find out who you're going to sell to. And then you kind of have to figure out why. Why did they want to buy this? Why this service? Why are they struggling with this? Or what are they struggling with? Or, well, that's in my case. I don't know for other businesses, but for my case, you want to find out their struggles and their problems and how to sell to those people. What are some pain points for them? You can typically find out pain points just from asking your current clients, or, you have to do a little bit of research, ask somebody you know. But it just comes down to asking the right questions and finding out what people need.
That's really good. And I'm not actually particularly good at that. I have a tendency to just kind of keep moving forward, but I think it's a brilliant thing to ask. Okay, I'm super excited to be working with you, but what problem am I solving for you?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be kind of a smash and grab, take your money, do the job and run. I want to understand. And I think you're onto something, because I think the more you understand what they're after, you're going to serve them better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and then they'll feel better about the investment that they're making with you.
Right.
So that's really good. All right. Okay. Moving along. Oh, I feel like you already answered this, but if you have any more, share. Some common mistakes you see. Well, you mentioned one mistake that you made, which I thought was really great. But what are some common mistakes you see businesses making on social media when trying to engage with your generation? Because I think more and more you guys are getting older, and you're going to be the ones that are making some of these decisions and buying some of these things that that's each generation moves ahead, and become the decision makers.
Right.
So what are some mistakes that businesses are making currently that you see?
Well, for now, I don't see too many businesses targeting my age demographic for the same reason I'm not. But as my age group gets older, I'll answer it for your question for what it is. If you're selling to my generation, it has to be lower ticket. You have to sell to the masses. You can't really sell to higher price point to my age group. It has to be low ticket. Now, as we get older, and as my age group actually makes money, I just think the biggest mistake I see is that you just aren't on social media. You're just not there. You might have an Instagram account with like 30 followers, but you don't post content ever. You don't have... Instagram's a fine line between professionalism and minimalism, because you want to have, but also having a full page look. You want your page to look full, but also minimalistic, but also professional. And it's really hard to strike that balance, but you want to come across as a little bit more modern on your Instagram, while also not taking away from
That's okay. While you think about that, can you explain what you mean? What do you mean by minimalistic? Do you mean fewer posts, or posts that are more simple? And
it's a very, you want a very full and simple look.
Okay.
You don't want to be, you want your logo to be a bit more updated. You want it to be clean. A clean look is what you should have. A clean, full look is probably the best way to describe it.
I like that. Okay.
This is just what appeals to your eyes when you open a page.
No, I think that's true. I think it's true of websites and social media accounts. How do you know, like, how do you measure success? How do you know what's working, what doesn't? If you're doing something on social media, how do you decide this is working or, man, this is not working out?
So I'm in business, it's very much, for me, I don't like to measure likes or comments or shares or anything like that, because you might not even be targeting the right people. So you might be getting a lot of likes, but it might not even be the people you want. So what I typically measure is qualified leads. If you're getting qualified leads, then your sales are okay and you're making money. But if you're getting leads on end, but they're Joe Schmo from, Pakistan, that's not worth anything to you. Yeah.
Joe Schmo might be really nice, but he's not going to do any workouts with you probably.
No, he's not.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see here. Advice for business owners. What advice would you give business owners who are just starting to use social media to grow their business?
My number one piece of advice would probably be, look to see what your competitors are doing. And by competitors, I don't mean your local competitor. I mean the person who's actually on social media and actually doing it. Look to see what they're doing and steal like an artist. So I don't know if you've ever read that book, but it's essentially,
I know the book. I haven't read it.
Yeah, it's just find inspiration and follow the formula, but do it for yourself, because clearly it's working for them, or change things up to be better, do better than what they're doing, and be quick. Speed is key. You want to be uploading regularly. You have to be on social media.
Man, that's exactly kind of why, like, even though the podcast was kind of like not quite, we're still figuring it out and moving lights. You may not have noticed. I wouldn't have well, I would have actually. I would notice, but you may not have noticed that the sign is actually lower. We figured that out by watching and going, oh, we need to bring that down a little bit. And then I had to adjust the light so it wasn't like reflecting ridiculously. Yeah. So anyway, the point is that you just want to move at speed and make changes as you go. I think there's forgiveness in that. People just want to see the content and see what you're about. And if it's good, even if it's not perfect, they'll be interested. Yeah. So that's really good. I like that a lot. Do you get like negative feedback on social media? Have you had to deal with any of that?
Not really. The biggest things I get are maybe a critique of the information in my videos. I know I'm right, but I have to prove it to them sometimes in the comments, but do in a professional way, and typically everything's okay. So
that's right. You don't want to burn bridges.
No.
Or come off as publicly come off as a jerk face or whatever.
No.
So that's probably true.
Yeah.
Okay. So as things move forward, like, are you seeing any new trends emerging when it comes to social media and how that plays out?
Personal brands tend to be a big thing. It's hard if you're B2B. It can be pretty hard to have a personal brand with that. You can't really. But if you're B2C, then you can easily have a personal brand. People can get to know you and like you. So I think the biggest trend, if you are B2C, is to be a personal brand, because people just like to see faces. All the people that you follow on Instagram are personal faces. They're people.
That's right. So this is interesting because we have both. We have B2B and a B2C business. I mean, there are some aspects of B2C, like with Vivid Photography and some of that, but very, very little. I don't even want to get into that.
Right.
But with our digitizing service, Retro Media Digitizers, there is very much B2C. And
yes,
I agree with you 100%. I think we've been consistent with social media posts, but it's all, and they're good posts or whatever, but it's not personal. There's not enough of us.
Yeah.
And so that's something we definitely need to make a change on. So
on your page, it's, people don't even really see the value of the service, because you can't sell the service. You have to sell the value. You have to sell, forget the phrasing, but You want to sell to the why, or sell to the emotion, rather than to just say, hey, you need this service.
Right.
People don't really, they're like, no, I don't. Sales is finding problems.
Right.
Nothing else. It's just finding problems.
So you've been at this for a little bit. What's one thing you wish you knew about social media before, when you got, like, if it's kind of one of those, man, if I could go back and start over, what's
Absolutely.
one thing you wish you knew when you started?
Do not post and hope. Do not just post and hope someone's going to go to your inbox. When I first started, I thought, oh, someone's going to see this post and wow, I got 13 views. Someone's going to click and comment or something. They don't care. You do not post and hope.
Okay. So what do you do?
You either have to be consistent long enough for organic to pick up, which is difficult by itself, but it's free, or you can just do paid ads.
Okay.
And paid ads are hard because that's a thing to learn in and of itself. And you are kind of throwing money at the wall if you're not careful or you don't have someone helping you out there.
That's right.
So I mean, you can don't post and hope in the fact that you don't have your expectations too high in the beginning. You're going to have to just stick through it for a while. I just hit 100 posts and I'm consistently getting, thousands of views on videos, but I mean, it took a long time to actually get to that point.
That's interesting. Well, so all of to me that comes down to you carefully honing your brand, and making more and better posts. Like in the beginning, some of those posts probably sucked.
They were garbage.
They were garbage. Just like some of these podcasts. This is a good one though, man. I'm excited.
No, this is cool. This is very professional.
This is I just mean, even like you definitely have thought through a lot of these things. And so I'm pretty excited about that. So you have learned to post consistently. You've learned to improve with each post. And that probably comes from what you said earlier, as far as just watching your competitors that are online and saying, okay, yes, that's good. I can do this and make it even better.
Correct.
I like that. I think that's really good. All right. So I feel like this is the same question, but I'll ask it anyway. How has your understanding of social media changed since you've been in business? Like, how has that, your view of it evolved?
Well, I don't use personal social media really anymore. And now it's just a tool for making money. I don't really use social media for personal things. I don't know if that's really the answer you'd be looking for, but that's how it's changed.
Is that just from a factor of time? Like, right? Like, you're like, yeah, the time I spend on social media is for business. I don't even have time to.
I mean, it's a factor of I enjoy being on social media in a productive way, and I can still kind of enjoy social media to a degree without like scrolling through reels. So I don't know. It's just, I don't really.
Dude, doom scrolling is such a trap. I mean, it's
horrible.
And then you lose hours and you're like, wait a minute, what am I doing?
But if you get good at getting people's attention, then you're a part and you can, people click on your post.
That's right. That's right. One thing I wanted to say, and this is going backwards a little bit, you were talking about organic growth is possible. It takes a commitment level, a serious commitment level. Yeah. And I think that's good. And there's going to be some people, for you, that's what you want to do. But I don't want to make it sound like paid ads, and we're never going to say this. Paid ads are not bad. All marketing is just giving you access to the marketplace that you wouldn't have had otherwise. If you believe in what you do, if you're proud of your work, you operate from a perspective of providing excellent service, something that people need, that's useful, that's productive, that's helpful. Man, well, then you need to get your name out there. You have something that people should enjoy.
You can't feel bad about selling your service. If it's worth it, then
right.
Then it's worth it. You should not feel bad about selling your service, because
right.
your service probably is worth it. And if there's like a marketplace for it and people are buying it, it's worth
right.
it.
That's right. And big corporations are certainly vying for people's attention, and maybe they don't provide the best service, especially like, I don't know, like your service it's personal. Yeah. It's one-on-one. You're not showing up as some big, fitness factory and, here, sign this thing for $29.99 a month and do nothing.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So that to me has value. And so if there's a scenario where, yeah, I'm growing organically, but I'd like to do some paid ads, man, do those and don't feel bad about it. It doesn't all have to be organic. what it needs to be is just is honest. And yeah, grow your business. Do what it takes.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. What would you consider the best book that you've read that helped you grow your business?
The best book I've read. Tell me grow my business.
I mean, I know you've read a lot. There's like Atomic Habits and
yeah. I would recommend. It's a good question. There's a few books floating through my mind right now, so maybe I'll just share a few.
Yeah.
Number one is E-Myth Revisited.
Okay.
I don't remember the author name, but if you're a starting up entrepreneur, you must read that book. You're going to fail if you don't. Kind of.
I read the original. That's why I'm so fascinated that you're like, I might have to read it again. I guess the revisited version.
It's really good, and it gives you a good basic foundation of knowing what you're actually getting into.
Right.
Because a lot of people that get into it, as the book says, as a technician or that sort of thing. You have to be careful about that.
Okay.
And it's good to just know what you're getting yourself into.
Cool. Can I guess the second book?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Robert Kiyosaki?
No. Rich Dad Poor Dad. I look at that book more as just a lifestyle.
It kind of is, but it changes your perspective, right?
It does.
So if you come at things, if you're coming at life through the lens of like the exchange of time for money rather than leveraging, that's a good book. For me, that helped a lot.
Yeah, that is a good book. But the next book is $100 Million Leads by
I haven't read that.
By Alex Hormozi. He has two $100 million books, but they're probably one of the most value-packed books I've ever seen. And it just changes your perspective on business. And I recommend it to a lot of people. I'm not like a huge Alex Hormozi fan per se, but his books and his content is very valuable. So those are very good books.
Okay. All right. Was there a third?
Well, so $100 million Leads, and then there's another $100 million.
Both of them.
Something, but I forget the second part, but it's like Leads and like, I don't know. I don't remember the second part, like business or $100 million company. I don't know. I don't remember, but both of those books are good. Okay,
man. All right. Well, cool, man. Thank you so much for your time. So check them out. It's ND Personal Training, and nope, it's not.
It's ND Personal Coaching.
Sorry,
on Instagram at ND Personal Coaching.
So this is why this is sad. I'm actually like, and hopefully you'll start seeing transformation over the weeks ahead. But like I'm actually like one of his clients. So yeah, that's. I mean,
been making progress.
How could I not be? Oh, dude. Yeah, I'll tell you what. This is for the guys. There's nothing better than like when you get the pump or when you start to actually get some muscle and your wife notices. It's epic. I mean, it is a glorious feeling.
That's like, what a lot of people actually say.
This is why I'm a man. You know, like it feels amazing. It really feels good.
A lot of people on calls with me, they'll be like, actually, once they start getting into it deeper, they're like, I actually like want my wife to view me as very attractive, and it's like, yeah, that's fine.
Every man feels that way. I think
it'd be weird if you didn't. Right?
I hope she thinks I'm ugly. Yeah.
So
that's good. Yeah. Well, thank you, son. I appreciate it. This was really good. And join us next week. I don't even. This is how I'm telling you. We are figuring it out as we go. I'm working with my team, who's hopefully going to help me with the scheduling piece of this. But look forward to our next episode next week when we have another guest. So we do have some upcoming guests. I just can't say who they are yet because I don't know where they're going to land. But I'm really excited about some of the future guests we have coming up. Some people in the real estate business, people that actually that do social media and podcasting for companies. So that's really fun. Other people that are local photographers, videographers that we're going to have on. Not direct competitors, of course, but yeah. So a lot of fun things coming up. So talk soon.